if you could.
I do appreciate that. Send it to people's inbox. Pester them.
Kill it.
Harass them.
Kill it, boys. Kill it.
I want you to want us, not me, us.
Didn't I see you trying?
We can send dick pics. We can send our videos.
We can just send pictures of Nikki Haley. That's the equivalent of sending a dick pic.
Or Dick Cheney.
I don't know.
Dick Cheney too. You got dicked?
I bet Dick you she was probably doable 15, 20 years ago.
Dick Cheney would be a legit dick pic.
Or Nixon. The original
Dick roll already.
Tricky Dicky.
Tricky Dicky.
He's a tricky dick.
He's a
very, very tricky Dicky.
He's a very tricky girl.
That is a nice set of doors behind you, Lou.
Yeah,
what a nice set of doors.
It's my new room. I got out of the basement.
And what would his people back home want if they ever learned just how far from them he'd really gone? He broke from them, and then he broke from himself. I'd never seen a man so broken up, ripped apart. I've seen horrors that you've seen. But you have no right to call me a murderer. You have a right to kill me. You have a right to do that. But you have no right to judge me.
You got somebody on the organ now? Hey man, you're gonna pay for dinner. You're gonna pay.
It's impossible for words to describe what is necessary to those who do not know what horror means. Horror.
It is Thursday night, I think, right? Thursday night, February 22nd, 2024. We're happy to have you here, we think. As usual, when I get into these monologues, I have no idea what I'm saying because I don't plan these monologues. I have no idea what I'm doing. I was lucky to wake up today. And when I did, I came to the stark realization that apparently there had been some sort of a solar flare. Everybody's phones were shutting down. Things were going chaotic. Everyone was scrambling around trying to figure out what was going on. There was a lot of different news reports. They said it could be cyber attacks. The Chinese are invading. People were running with their chosen narratives, their own particular fear porn, whatever gets them excited, whatever gets their rocks off. And to be honest, I still don't really know what's going on, if the sun's going to explode, which, I mean, I guess it always is, kind of. I don't really, there's some fusion going on there, I think I read about once. And it's turning towards us. You see a flash. NASA puts these things up. Everybody goes, ooh and ah. Thad, do you know what's going on? What happened? What happened today? What was everybody in a panic about exactly? Do you have a definitive? Oh Lord. That would do it. That would do it.
Well, I actually haven't been paying much attention to it because apparently, I mean, how this thing manifested itself, where a lot of people who had AT&T woke up this morning and just didn't have service, particularly 911 service. Par for the course, AT&T has always been the weaker carrier, in my opinion. Oh, shout out to T-Mobile. But no, I actually didn't actually correlate like solar activity, coronal ejections with a possibility of maybe, I don't know, civilization wipeout. I don't know.
Yeah, like the end of civilization just in general.
I mean, yeah, because now we got black female popes and shit,
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. It's crazy out here, man.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, when it goes to a black female pope, that's when we know how far your people have fallen. That's when we'll know, correct?
That's when we know when it's the end of days, particularly well, we'll get into it during the course of this amazing broadcast about black
on
Arab-
opslens.com
and on
Rumble, X,
Rumble. Oh,
Facebook, on
While
all
we
of
can.
the Opslens assets where you can, until we say something out of line. Eventually it'll happen. But yeah.
Shout out to Facebook that hasn't nuked us from orbit yet. I'm pretty sure they've throttled our reach.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank God for Opslens. Thank God for Rumble. Hey, and shout out to X, the X audience.
So when it comes to cyber attacks, the statement was AT&T apparently said in a statement that the outage was not a cyber attack, but caused by the application and execution of an incorrect process used as we were expanding our network. Does that mean anything to you as a tech guy, Thad? Can you
Software
that at all?
Software update.
So they're saying
someone ran it. It worked in dev, but it didn't work in production. That's what it sounds like to me.
Lou, is this the beginning of the Great Reset cyber attack?
Possibly. I want to know who gets fired for the software update then. But no, I think that obviously this is like, I obviously think that this is an FBI, CIA, AT&T kill switch practice, just to make sure they got shit on point, that they could just click it and see what happens. And
maybe they were installing the kill switch. Maybe they were installing the kill switch and they fucked up.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Good.
The
I like
software
that.
update didn't go as smooth. Yeah.
Worked in
Yeah,
dev.
because they had to cover because all the stories about China wanting to do it they're fake, right?
I remember when it was
China
still
has no
like
reason to want to do that. Neither does Russia.
None whatsoever.
No,
we're all friends.
I remember thinking when it was still a solar flare that was causing it, like that the T-Mobile and Verizon could run like, hey, yo, we got solar flare proof. They would.
Well, Senator Marco Rubio, he had a tweet on the entire subject. He said, "I don't know the cause of the AT&T outage, but I do know it'll be 100 times worse when China launches a cyber attack on America on the eve of the Taiwan invasion. And it won't be just cell service they hit. It will be your power, your water, and your bank." Fury, are you ready for the invasion of Taiwan?
Oh my gosh. I love you. Thank you for saying that. For me, honestly, and I'm going to be upfront with everybody here. Hey, fam. Thank you for joining us. Taiwan, kind of like Hong Kong. Everybody talked tough. Everybody said, oh, we're going to stick to our guns. They're going to remain a independent state and autonomous, and their democracy is going to not be under fire. Well, the CCP's running Hong Kong. They're in jail. So Taiwan is probably sweating bullets right now because, the only people that they're going to have to rely on in their neck of the woods will be South Korea and Japan. On account of the fact that America's too busy getting bogged down in I don't even know what you want to call it, the Ukrainian conflict, the Israeli problem and the Gaza happenings, the
Wait,
Canadian...
did you just say the Israeli problem?
Yeah. Sorry. The
problem.
Wow.
You were
take it easy there,
away
Stu
from
Peters.
saying the JQ.
Take it easy there, Stu Peters.
I'm glad you picked up on that joke. Okay, so no, seriously, people, I don't really. I don't back that.
Look at him backing it up, too.
I don't back that thought process. But really, what it comes down to is, even if it was a cyber attack, right? If it was a clever and awesome cyber attack, the government ain't going to tell you, and neither are they, because then they have to admit that they suck and that a couple fucking 5 or 6 guys in a flat with maybe like 25 square inches of desk space with computers beat the shit out of their system. But the other thing is that, yeah, they're messed up update. Well, yeah, who gets fired? If that's real.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's real. I'm somewhere in between on all of it. And I just,
Right.
Anytime I see the news and they're like, hey, there was a big scramble. Again, they didn't know what they wanted to say. They were like, well, we do have the solar flare story we can go with.
Rubio.
Why don't we just say it was Klaus Schwab? Can we just say it was Klaus Schwab?
Right. Why is Rubio like this? Like,
oh no, Rubio's ready.
Why?
You know Rubio. He's running and gunning, man. He wants to.
So what? We gonna invade? What? We gonna bomb him, right? We gonna bomb, right? I got the justification. I got the tweet right here.
Well, and maybe that's the right idea. Maybe that's the right idea because we are seeing this in Russia. We alluded to this, that there's a certain sort of Godfather vibe to what's going on right now.
Today I settle all family business, so don't tell me you're innocent, Carla.
Yeah, a guy, Maxine Kuzmanov, he got whacked. Russian pilot who deflected to Ukraine. The timeline was August 2022. Russian Air Force captain defected. He killed a couple of guys in the process to get the helicopter there. Then on October 1st, 2023, the Spetsnaz, which we can go to that clip here in a minute if we like, if we so choose. But the Spetsnaz, they said he won't live to see trial. And then, of course, well, let's just play this a little bit.
Не то, что имена, даже позывные этих воинов нельзя называть. Прошли через все вооруженные конфликты за последние 25 лет. О судьбе Кузьминова...
No, we're not doing English. If someone's just listening to this.
Найдем человека,
Vladimir is like, yes.
во всей строгости закона нашего государства за предательство, ну и то, что предал своих братьев, братишек, с которыми служил непосредственно. До суда не вернется, я думаю, не доживет. Конечно, найдем, мы до всех дотянемся.
I think we got the point.
Yeah, their arms are long.
He thought he was cool in Mallorca, Spain, chilling with his villa from the money he got from selling the fucking helicopter he stole. And not only did they shoot the fuck out of this motherfucker, they ran over him with his own fucking car because they used it as a getaway.
Jeez.
If I've watched enough movies, am I right, Fury? Am I right to assume that since the European Union people were the one to set him up in Spain, they were also the one to give him up in Spain? Is that what I'm to assume?
But here's the thing: people seem to like want to believe our talking pieces in the West and how stupid and backwards Russia is. They are violent, they are calculating, and if they feel that they have been transgressed upon, they'll figure it out one way or the other. If they hadn't already figured out and had people in Spain just being like, yo, we already have an idea where the fuck this guy's going, so you know what to do.
I have an issue.
We didn't tell you to run him over with his own car.
I have an issue with him being called. I have an issue with him being called ultra white, right wing. Because he's vehemently opposed.
You're talking about Navalny, though. Let's just clarify there before.
We got you got to keep the body count straight.
Yeah.
Keep the body. Yeah.
So the guy we were talking about that got run over with the car and everything again. That was Kuzminov. Then you got and let's I don't think we got to dig too deep. There was a ballerina, Ksenia Karolina, 33-year-old dual citizen who they say she gave like $51 to some Ukrainian charity, so they arrested her for treason. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on there. They're just getting someone that they can then use in a prisoner exchange with the United States, just like they did with Brittany Griner, which that's what we said. That was something that we identified as being a big problem there, was that with Brittany Griner, they've made certain people targets of Russia because they know they're high value. So of course they're going to pick this person up. But definitely go ahead and go off on Navalny, which he got sick and died in a prison. Yeah.
Sean, well, real quick, what about Yevgeny
Prigozhin. Prigozhin. Yeah.
The Baptist regime and
but here's
the
the thing.
Mutiny.
Today I saw that I don't know if it's old or new, but Lindsey Graham was called a terrorist or labeled as a terrorist. and this is Lindsey Graham's, like, when he hamburgers.
The people of America have called him a terrorist. The people of America have called him a terrorist since like 2004. Like, they just fucked him up.
Butters is the terrorist that the Russian Confederation has decided
No. Putin don't fuck around, bro. Putin don't fuck around. So please, let's go into detail about the last of the major families that got whacked and stuff like that. And that's Navalny. Is it Navalny?
Yeah.
Dude, I practice these words and I still fucking them up.
That's all right.
This is from a guy who can't do a German accent, so of course you're going to struggle with Russian.
You're our fake Spanish correspondent, so you should have been down there when they ran over Homeboy's body. Yeah. There was a video, and I don't know if we got that.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God! But there was the video. that we were looking at earlier where Bono was doing something again? I don't know if we can just kind of set some of the tone here with the way the left runs away with all this Navalny business or not. I don't know what the man...
So important that Alexei Navalny chose to give his up. Apparently Putin would never ever say his name. So I thought tonight, people who believe in freedom, we must say his name. Not just remember it, but say it. Alexei Navalny. Alexei Navalny. Alexei Navalny.
For fuck's sake.
When you put it to a song, it's easy to remember.
Can I please just sidestep here? And does he fail to realize that if it isn't Putin, that's the big bad guy, that it'd be Navalny. It'd be whoever is in charge of Russia. Will be the
Are we just
dictator of
glossing over
Russia.
the fact that essentially Navalny is like the second coming of George Floyd at this point for these motherfuckers?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he mispronounced his name like the third time he did his fucking group chant.
So what do I put? Do I put a Russian flag? Do I put his name in my bio?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. What do I do?
I don't know whose boots. Whose boots are supposed to get licked on this one?
All right, so I think what you do is you do like the opacity on the Ukrainian flag like at 30%, the Russian flag at like 4%.
I'll get right on that. I'll get Gemini image generation right on that.
At least 3 or 4 masks for sure.
Hey, your black Pope reminded me of when Putin showed everybody that old artifact and it was Black Jesus.
Was that when he was giving his 10,000-year history of Russia to Tucker Carlson? Or...
One of the times,
right?
One of the times, and then he handed him homework in a dossier of history.
He's like, no, you take from the 80s of homework.
He absolutely trolled the fuck out of the West,
like,
and Tucker in particular.
Tucker was like,
he's a
fucking
fucking
grocery
gangster,
store, dude. Tucker was like, I'm going to the grocery store.
And isn't that is that what's going on here again with this whole Burisma business and Smirnov? This whole business where he was, a confidential human source for the FBI. They're saying he gave him false information now. So hey, guess what? Joe Biden, he's on the up and up, folks.
I like how they're trying to launder the fact that like one piece of the long dossier of fucking evidence against the Biden crime family since the 70s is somehow going to be enough to basically, they're off the hook for Burisma, they're off the hook for the bank transfers, they're off the hook for like the BB&T stuff, the credit card stuff, the what else was going on here? Oh yeah, the Chinese hedge fund.
I'm getting this shit from the left and it's crazy. It's like as soon as that came in, I'm like, no. Also, don't you see that they've been using the justice system to now change the narrative? This is not like, this doesn't seem like a normal take-in. Like, this isn't just like out of the blue. Like, they're going after Trump. They're going after this. Like, this is what we all feared. This is what y'all feared Trump to do. He's literally going after, y'all feared him going after Hillary and all this other shit. This is literally what the Biden shit has done. They've geared everything towards just taking people down. Boom, boom, boom. This is wild.
They love it. The projection is modus operandi of the left today. They don't tend to understand that, like, you guys, by virtue of your overreaction and your weaponization of institutions, shout out to Thor, who actually brought this up, you've basically made these institutions practically worthless. So when you actually get the Trump-like figure that you're, God forbid, weaponizing all these institutions against to prevent, you will now hand that loaded gun to this new Trump-like figure who you fear, who you make as this boogeyman, who keeps you up at night, and he will have the power. And like I said, if the right ever learns how to weaponize the state the way that they fear they do, God help us all, but God help the left in particular.
Well, it's like interesting the way
Jack's complete lack of surprise.
Basically, and they're going to continue to cry about Navalny and all these different things, and then they say, well, they hold up Smirnov and they say that. But meanwhile, the other thing that happened this week was that Julian Assange had his extradition hearing. Apparently it's going to be decided in a couple of weeks, but essentially nobody fucking cared. Nobody cared. There was some sort of a protest in DC and there was nobody there.
Wasn't there a protest? There was a protest in front of the Ecuadorian embassy in London for a little bit, I guess. But I mean,
I'm sure. I mean, what they
it was
sat
pretty,
around, they said free
subdued.
Julian Assange, you know. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty subdued.
and that's what I thought was interesting in the whole timeline. Is that it's the Obama administration that decided not to indict him, right? And in 2010, because they would have had to go after a bunch of journalists that were friends of theirs as well, who were also involved in it. But they, you know, in the end, it was actually Trump that ended up going after him. And then everybody said, well, why didn't he pardon Julian Assange at the end of it? And it's like, I don't know. Maybe has it occurred to you that they don't want to? That Pompeo and the rest of them, they wanted to kill this guy, whether rightly or wrongly. That's what they decided they were going to do, because he released a bunch of unredacted documents that they felt presented a risk to their people. You know, it's just this bizarre thing where it's like Americans are still in this state of mind where they don't understand how dangerous the world is. And you know, that's supposedly these institutions are there to protect us, you know, but it gets into murky waters. And so we talk about Putin, where he's going to go after all these people and just, you know, kill them. Well, the United States, it's a little more tricky. So, you know, they've got to try to get people into prisons and fuck with them that way. They don't just do the straight out.
Before we go to China, Putin's on a Clinton-esque role, if you will. Like the last couple of decades, like I mean,
that motherfucker has been introducing motherfuckers to balconies for years. It's not new. He's a gangster.
Clinton's do suicides and stuff. Putin just does it blatantly. He's like motherfuckers, kill your motherfucking ass. Fuck you and your family. Yeah.
No, did you kill him, Mr. President?
I'll get you anywhere. I'll shoot you in the south of Spain. I'll catch your ass in the park in central London. I don't give a fuck. I'm Putin, bitch.
How dare me compare Putin to Clinton then?
How dare you?
Well, and that's the thing. But here in the United States, this is why we've got to talk about China, because everybody, again, and even us, we've been very heavily focused on Russia and the problems there, and I think rightfully so. But you've also got the other end of that access. You've got to remember they are allies, and they just put people into our military. They spy. They do all sorts of things, and nothing really happens. There was a guy just recently, Wenheng Zhao, 26, pleaded guilty in October. They gave him 2 years. Like, you know, maybe we're not doing it right. Maybe when these people come over to our country and they try to fuck with our shit, if we just fucking killed them, that maybe that would be better. I don't know. Maybe because again, we still don't understand how dangerous the world is.
Well, it was a couple years ago.
I found out that in France,
that like there was like 4 or 5 Chinese people who just like charged the fucking gate at a military installation and went on through on the West Coast, and then just like pretended like Asians on vacation, like, oh, we didn't know what we were doing. And it was just, and I remember thinking to myself, like, holy crap, for real? Only in the United States. Because if you did that anywhere else, you'd get fucking shot. You would get shot in any other country's military installation like that, especially if you're an American.
To Sean's point of you know, using state murder, you know, as a deterrent, France was the last country to use the guillotine in 1970s as the last time they actually executed somebody.
Well, I got to clarify again. That's because of my understanding of what the state is. That's what the state does. The state kills people.
Yes,
to force compliance. That's what it is.
It's like it's a criminal mafia organization masquerading as a human rights organization. The state, in essence, that's what it is.
Right. And so meanwhile, this continues to ramp up. You know, China, they were gathering more intel on Taiwan. They sent a spy ship just flying by. You know, they're definitely getting prepped for something. They've made huge naval advances. We talk about all this espionage and all these things. They've got destroyers that they've just finished an entire class of that are they're almost a carbon copy of like the Arleigh Burke class destroyers that we just built, you know, our high tech. They've got their version. They've got their version of the F-35 that they incidentally call the J-35. It's amazing.
It's totally theirs. That's totally all Chinese development.
Where did they get that technology?
Is that anti-Semitic?
What is the
J-35?
J-35?
Come on, help me out, dude.
I right now, Lou.
Yes.
When is he not?
And I've been drinking
J-35. He's gonna articulate it that way,
right?
Well, DOD, you better re-nomenclature that plane.
Yeah, Lou just lost his security clearance.
That name is problematic. Yeah, because the Chinese give a fuck.
Yeah, they could have called it the Gewehr 35, and
right,
would have been on point.
It's like they're literally teabagging us every day.
Yes.
They just teabag us. They're like, you stupid
Call of Duty
motherfuckers, look
style.
what we stole from you now. Like, so are we any surprise? Then you see that Australia, apparently they're trying to catch up and we're working with them. That was an interesting thing, was that, China is demanding the US stop any official contact with Taiwan, but Taiwan was also a part of that $95 billion package that didn't get passed, where we needed to give these weapons and supplies to Ukraine. A lot of that goes into building up that Pacific fleet with Australia, with the United Kingdom and our allies over there to prep for this war that's
It's a bit
here.
late, man. It's a bit late.
Yeah, because the West can't build. Yeah, the West can't build anything any faster than the China. I give the Chinese credit. Like, yeah, they got their J-35 in record fucking time, because I'm pretty sure they don't have to do a cost plus award fee fucking contracts. No, it's the credit to the Australians to actually get serious, and they actually have in the last 5 years gotten kind of serious.
Yes, they have.
They're no more kumbaya.
It was
bullshit.
because they watched our show back in summer 2020 when we told everybody to get ready for this.
Yeah, get ready, right?
Yeah,
they should have known this forever. So I mean, look, we have strategic assets in the region. We are going to now give them nuclear sub technology. But if the West builds like the West builds, like by the time you have deployed the first whatever class Australian nuclear submarine or destroyer or any other military equipment, I mean, the Chinese will be vacationing in Taipei right now. I mean, that's the problem with the West. We're sclerotic. We can't move as fast as we would need to. Even if there were some sort of global conflict, we're not going to revert back to what we did in World War II, where we went from shit to like the arsenal of the world in less than 2 years. We don't have that capacity, expertise, or even that fucking will.
Yeah, we don't have that culture, is what it really comes down to. We don't have the culture to actually go, hey, you know what? We're going to have to do the fucking hard thing. It's going to suck to eat some fucking canned fucking meat that we don't know how old it is and fucking pull another back-to-back 16 to make sure that this shit is fucking welded out right the first time. But, that we lack that culture. We lack that.
And meanwhile, what we're doing at home, again, is we have a compromised president. You can sit there and talk about how, whether or not this was real, that was real. Look, all you got to do is look at the tea leaves, look at what's going on in reality. We're sitting here crying. We're even entertaining this idea when Beijing tells us to stop harassing their students. We put a non-citizen, Kelly Wong, a Chinese immigrant, on this is what it says: San Francisco Non-Citizen Election Commission. Kelly Wong, a Chinese immigrant and advocate for immigrant rights, is named the first non-citizen to San Francisco's Elections Commission. Her focus is to improve engagement among immigrant and non-English speaking communities, promoting inclusive governance. That's right. Way to go, America. We need inclusive governance with the fucking CCP. Fantastic.
Yes,
way to go.
yes.
Sean, remember that congressperson that was sleeping with a Chinese spy a long time ago?
Swalwell.
Oh, yeah.
Swalwell. That's what it was. Yeah.
Swalwell.
I'm sure that's no big deal. That's no big deal.
Look, whatever.
Barbara Boxer's fucking driver was was it Barbara Boxer or was it Feinstein, whose driver had connections to the CCP and drove for her for
not official,
decades.
but it's not official until a video comes out about fucking
Elaine
on the
Chao.
floor.
Oh, Mitch McConnell, Elaine Chao.
Why don't you just blast right into that? Sure, why not?
Go for it, Lou.
Go, Lou.
I found this fascinating.
I was just naming all the Congress people, but still, I mean, shit. Angela Chow, I guess she just passed away. It's bad for the stereotype of Asian people not being able to drive well. I will say that's a terrible situation.
Well, as we say on this show, it's okay to pass away today. So, I mean,
especially if you've been doing dirt the last 20 years.
I mean, just back your car into a lake in Texas. There's nothing weird about that. And then you've got Turtle Boy McConnell over there, looking like Mason Verger from
Glitch McConnell.
Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, shout out to Kyle. It's Kyle Bass on Twitter. People should go check this thread out. It's got a lot of good information there, just about all of her connections with the Chinese Communist Party. And it's just more of this crap, which again,
Jim Breyer,
kind of blasted
her husband, no better. Jim Breyer, her husband, no better, the VC investor in China. I mean, IDG Capital had been added to Pentagon's list of Chinese military companies. So I mean, it's like on and on and on. And the Biden thing's just like literally like the icing on the top of the cake at this point.
Well, I think the real icing on the top of this cake is this crap that they're trying to put through with this whole courage to serve bullshit that was put by Congressman Pat Ryan alongside his West Point classmate, Congressman John James. Like these guys, look, we have a problem serving and filling the ranks. And they're like, well, look, we've got all these illegal immigrants coming in that are from China. Let's just go ahead and give them citizenship and put them in the military.
And
there was an empire in its late stages that did something similar. And then when the sack of their capital took place, everybody switched fucking jerseys who they had brought in to become Roman soldiers, and Rome was sacked.
And it never came back until
it ever did.
Until they decided that they could weaponize Orthodox Christianity to Catholicism.
And look at them, like what is this suck going to be like when we get Mark Rubio's doomsday prediction? You know, we get Poseidon missiles, you know, torpedoes on the East Coast, and we get an invasion from the North and the South and everything, and Americans are just going to be sitting here going, wait, what? How did this happen? Sacked. But I guess that takes us right into
the
this.
ACTJ.
Yeah, I mean, the reality, what Tucker Carlson, right? Tucker Carlson talked about this. I think we've got that video we can play. The reality being is that there's just nasty and stupid people in charge, right, Thad? We're giving the manager all the time he needs back there.
All the time he needs.
Oh, look at that.
Go for it.
Okay. And there's no sound.
One thing I know a lot about are the people who populate the ruling class, because I spent my whole life with them. I'm not against ruling classes.
That works for me.
No.
I'm good with that.
We liked it.
Yeah.
Totally
Go, Thad. Go. You had a whole thing.
Okay. Well, basically, this is something famous that Tucker said years ago that I find astonishingly true. It's not that I, in particular, hate the ruling class. It's just that I wish we had a better class of elite who were in our ruling class. It is stupid people who have inherited a birthright or inherited like great institutions in this country who have absolutely positively fucked it up. They've fucked everything up. Every institution. We'll get into this later. If it's not Fonnie fucking Willis, if it's not fucking what's Letitia James, or if it's not like the head of product at Google Gemini, which basically we'll get into later about like how they fuck that up. At every level, I've seen really two constants: stupid people who we've anointed as the elite, and females.
You know,
oh, you misogynistic motherfucker, you. I mean,
So
look,
the,
I was having a
ruling class
conversation with
thing-
a friend, and this is the problem. When you look around, it's like I could sit here and look at Washington, D.C., and I could say, wow, they're really inbred. Maybe that explains some of this. Because it does seem like just when we look at these connections with McConnell and all these other people, like you start looking at their families and they're literally all related.
Literally.
So it's like the
And all their
Beltway
kids look
bubble.
horrible.
It
Right.
gets worse. Right?
All their kids look horrible. Now you caught that between me and Dr. Thor. We went on and on and on for about like 4 hours on the inbred royals of Europe. So,
Yeah.
and that was what that conversation stemmed from, was the American barony that I referred to all these years. The American barony is just like their genealogical trends.
Yeah, like when the elite mate,
it's like
you
a
tend to
racetrack.
think you're gonna get better elite, but over the decades, and because some of them have either aborted their children or don't have children because they're same sex, they're not producing the best. And it makes me scared, because I mean, I'm no smarter than these fucking people, and I'm looking at them like, you people are fucking idiots. It is a death of expertise, and I fear it more than anything else. Even if we were to give credence to our first subject when we talked about like AT&T like fucking up and stuff like that, the cynicism in us is just like, oh yeah, it's cyber attack. They probably fucked up. But like if you really think about it, it's a death of expertise. We are run by dumbasses.
That isn't wrong.
Yeah, we have like President Dumas.
When Tucker Carlson said that about the ruling class, and he was like, I spent a lot of time with them. It was like very revealing. It reminded me of like when Trump was debating Hillary, and she tried to get him on the tax break and shit. And he was like, "Yo, of course I do that, but all your donors do that shit too." He's just like exposing
your friends. You said all of you and your friends do it too.
Yeah, right.
All of you and your friends do. That's why it won't change.
That's kind of the most endearing thing about the Trump president or candidacy, really, in 2016 was like, he was one of them. And I think a part of the Trump derangement syndrome on the left is they feel betrayed. Because he was one of them. Now he was never really one of them because he was always very
PAC fund,
and whatever. But like
he fucking stuffed that PAC fund full.
They
were mad as fuck over that. And he even said that on a television show that if I ran in politics, I'd run as a fucking Republican because I'd get elected.
Exactly.
I was like, the audacity of this motherfucker
to go out and then do it. Yo, I can't believe. I know we haven't touched on it. I don't know if we want to. But like that whole Trump thing. Now you shouldn't even put me on this shit. But like that whole Trump thing getting the
Trump
fucking 368. Oh no, we can go into that right afterwards. But the $360 million fine for doing what everybody else does, like they're literally like singling him out. They're like breaking the codes of the G code. This is like when it's like when the mafia started snitching.
Yes.
Well, they're setting up precedent there. They're setting up precedent there too.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is like
this is something that can be weaponized against everybody. But it's the state eating itself alive. It's eating up all of the engine that has made America great. It's consuming itself. It's horrendous to watch. And it was like even talking about Biden. The beauty of putting Biden in the White House for these people who hate America is that they don't really have to do anything special. You don't need Obama over there whispering into his ear, telling him what to do, because all you have to do is shoot him up with some meth, have him make some decisions and then do what he says. And so it gives everybody plausible deniability. You've got this lunatic, angry ass, senile old man. Oh, do this, go this. And if I don't, I'm going to sick commander on you. Like they're just going to do it. They're just going to do it. And everything he decides is fucking stupid. So, that's where we're at.
Oh no, he has been known as the worst. He had the worst instincts when it came to any politician when it came to foreign policy. And now he is running the foreign policy of this country.
Horrifying. And that's what, but that's like back in a couple weeks ago, I had said, that's what they think of you American citizens. That's how badly they think of you. They think that you have a goldfish brain, that you don't remember how balls deep he was in the GWAT, how balls deep he was in plagiarism in his early fucking career, his racist ass fucking crime bill in the 90s. Like all of these things, they think you're so stupid that you don't remember shit. So they're
but to be fair,
February 22nd,
everybody just keeps eating shit. So I mean,
it's kind of February 20th.
Yeah,
Sean, it's February 22nd, and the same people that used to bitch about how the right would still talk about Obama, late into the other presidency's term, are now February 22nd and still deranged with the last president. Almost 4 full years, almost 3 full years. It's wild. I don't know what's going on. Like the left has completely lost principles.
It's not just the left though. It's not just the left though. Oh, you got to understand, and this is something that Dad and I talked about back in 2020, is the very fact that like Trump, anything he does drives the news cycle. We see that even in the different ways that we headline. That's something that I've seen when I was writing stories for different publications. If you put Trump in the headline, you immediately get clicks. You immediately get views. And so the problem is in media is that it's forcing journalists to cover him because that's all people pay attention to or read. It's this really bizarre.
Yeah, there's Trump derangement syndrome on the left, and there's Trump devotion syndrome on the right.
Yeah, it's a big snowball.
And it's a big, self-licking fucking ice cream cone. And
And
it
it's
right, it drives clicks.
Ice cream.
It drives clicks, right? Because people like conflict, people like that. He Trump like revels in the shit, right? I mean, but at the same time, I mean, that's what's driving all this madness. Like when you have Letitia James talking about we're gonna start seizing shit, it's just like, what the fuck are you, a Bolshevik? Like, I didn't think, no offense, I didn't think niggas was Bolsheviks. I mean, but it's derangement. It's total derangement. I don't understand
how it is. But again, these people, and that's, I think we want to let Lou go off. He can probably introduce this video that had to, honestly, it's like we were talking about this whole Fannie Willis business. It was just way too much like, I don't know if we can call it Jerry Springer or if it's more like Maury Povich or maybe
more Maury.
More Maury, not quite classy enough for Montel Williams, I guess. But what the fuck?
Kamala Harris was classy enough for Montel.
It sucks that it's in like it sucks that it's in my old stomping grounds. That's for sure. Like old Fulton. That's definitely.
What the fuck happened to Fulton County, dog? Shit.
I don't know, but what's funny is like she literally ran her campaign as being the opposite of the person prior who had been busted for sleeping with the help, taking vacations with tax dollars, all of this stuff. And then it comes out where she didn't even need to take the stand. She comes and takes a stand and just outs herself as being the exact same thing. Yeah. Just a different color on her face. I thought that was wild.
Did you not get like the undertone of her basically saying that like once when they were together when he was going through his cancer treatment, and so like the innuendo is his dick didn't work?
Yeah, it was. And she's not going to emasculate a black man.
And she literally emasculated the black man by making that statement.
Yeah, the whole thing was wild. Like from the moment she got out there where she said that she ran there because she guessed that she was going to be her turn. Like it was just a clown show, almost as if like she's put out there to do that. But like I thought what was like, after hearing all of that and even the backwards dress thing, which was hilarious, whether if it's true or not, it's still funny. Still funny. I thought it was crazy. The hidden story I thought in this whole thing came out like a couple days later that there was a whistleblower named Amanda Timpson, and her tape was played out. I'll play this real quick and then we'll talk about it.
Somebody will play it.
God, you're cute.
Somebody will.
Gosh.
Such a snaky response to that. But this is what she did. A week later, she fired her. 5 to 6 armed guards took her and escorted her out. And then when questioned, she said that she was a poor employee, but she doesn't get in that position where she's writing the grant. She doesn't get in that position where she's passionately pleading to the boss that this guy's fucking up her grant if she's not a good employee. So she's losing credibility on that level.
Well, with Fannie Willis again, look, when you listen to the things she says, that's just years and years of like human resources training and, conflict resolution, when she's really sitting there thinking, oh yeah, I'm firing you as soon as I can. I want you to really listen to me.
I want you to hear what I'm saying, bitch.
Yeah. But also Thad, I got a question for you, and it's kind of pungent. The other thing that she told her in that little fucking exchange was, "You're black and I'm black, so I can fire you whenever I want."
Here's the uncomfortable truth. First of all, black girl magic. Okay, cool.
You ain't gonna get.
And I just want to say we support CRT here.
Yes, CRT,
absolutely. As the affirmative action co-host,
every council member goes through 60 hours of CRT.
Yes,
hold on to your butts.
But hold on to your fucking butts. If it's not this bitch or Tiffany Henyard out of fucking Illinois, They should have never gave those bitches power. I'm just letting you know.
White women.
Women are the nastiest. Black women in particular. I've had friends that have worked. I've had relatives who've worked for black bosses, particularly black women bosses. One, they're all because of this DEI bullshit. They're promoted beyond their level of expertise and beyond their level of fucking competence. And then they're elevated, and they're continually elevated. Do you know after Tiffany Henyard has been like stealing from her township, harassing citizens, thugging it out, going to freaking Las Vegas, eating the Bubba Gump shrimp and putting it all on the city's dime for 2 years. And only now is the FBI starting to look into this. And if it wasn't for the fact that they put Fauci up to this goddamn show fucking trial and this really weird racketeering fucking statute in the state of Georgia, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't know her level of incompetence. This is a problem. This is a DEI problem. This is an affirmative action problem. And it makes us look bad, folks. It makes us look bad, fam. It makes us look fucking bad.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how deep we dig into that problem. I think that we can trace all of these problems back to education in this country. So it was really nice to see Massey come out and just say really what needs to happen, which is to just fucking get rid of the Department of Education.
Yes.
I mean,
how many times has he brought this up? How many times?
How many years of public school has it taken to bring the republic to its knees? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. I think he brought this up when he first got to Congress. And he brought it up when, I think in 2016. Yeah. He always, yes, I absolutely agree with this. But public schools are prisons. Public schools are prisons that don't necessarily teach your kids anything.
Well, but then also the DOE's stupid little fucking back door for the federal government, the feds, to take shit from the DOE to fund shit that has nothing to do with education either. It's like a little fucking slush fund that they can just be, well, this is a federal a pool of resources that we can we're going to move this over here for right now, even though our kids literally LeBron James, what is it, not a single 8th grader has passed the fucking test.
At his what's the name of his school? The school in Cleveland, right? Or is it in Akron?
No, I thought it was in Texas.
No, there's one in Ohio.
Okay, I think that might be the Akron one. The Akron one,
that
it's like the School of Excellence or something.
School of Excellence or whatever. Yeah, man.
It's like the X-Men, like Dr. Xavier has, Dr. Xavier LeBron James has started the school for the gifted.
And the same thing in San Francisco, right? Like, didn't this fucking Oakland school that was mainly catering to minority students hired to do woke kindergarten or woke education, and no one could read at any level, and it has been an abject and complete fucking failure. And they do this in these neighborhoods that where they need not to be taught this nonsense. Teach that woke bullshit at fucking private schools, up in the fucking hills and shit. In the hood, we need reading, writing, arithmetic. That's it.
Well, let's just face facts. The more money we spend on education in this country, the stupider we all get. But speaking of oversold ideas, oversold ideas that have absolutely no effect in real life. Everybody was really excited about this idea of the trucks boycotting New York City, and that's turned out to be absolutely nothing but absolute bunk. So, you've got that. And then in reality, when you look at the Trump campaign, we found out that it was easier for him to sell sneakers. So again, I think this kind of rotates back around, which is what is Trump doing with his golden shoes?
Stomping in his Air Force Ones, dog.
Is this Trump saying if you don't vote for me, you're not black? Is this by appealing to the shoe aficionados?
The shoe game?
What makes the shoe game exclusively African American, Lou? What are you saying?
I'm surprised Jay Shin didn't go out.
I have a Korean father in LA right now that's got almost 50,000 pairs of fucking Air Jordans of different decades, of different editions. It is not a solely black thing to collect Nikes or Jordans.
Can I say that those shoes do kind of look like the original Air Jordans?
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, they do.
Trump and Converse.
Yeah, you think they're more Converse? You think they're more Chuck Taylors?
He went up with that high top fit.
Yeah, he definitely. They're the most grotesque things. They're worse
Larry
than
Bird
Kanye's.
be wearing those in the 80s.
Those are worse than those Ye shoes, bro. Those are the most grotesque fucking things I've.
So gross.
These are the Air Force.
You know, again, it's money. It's like
these are the
people are
Air
saying,
Force
well, why would you
Sixes.
buy something like that? Well, the reason you buy something like that is because then you go resell it on eBay for just exorbitant amounts of money.
Yeah, have you seen what is the NFT market? Yeah, I mean, the NFT market for those NFTs that he fucking sold back in the day, like it's actually pretty vibrant.
Like those crazy boots at the like those crazy orange boots that were like all bubbly or big and shit. That shit.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
But yeah, I would
can't dress today, man.
I would call
Can we get Trump to wear like?
I would call those the Air Force Sixes.
Air Force
I would call those
Air Force Sixes.
Well, if Donnie Darkin's right, they're gonna have to call them the Air Force 666s.
Because
the six was being for
I would pay good money to see Donald Trump wear his own shoes.
And in other areas of the MAGA economy, that's why you get the dating. You get the dating. We've got dating now too.
Oh my!
Aren't you excited about what is it called, Lou? You were all excited about this.
Yeah.
So I don't
dateontheright.com.
Dateontheright.com. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is like I was wondering why, but then when you said it could be like Tinder, where it's just like straight hooking up, you know, straight fucking.
This is as dumb as that fucking mundane calendar.
No, because the thing is this is my thing is like didn't they already have Christian Mingle and like farmers only?
No, the Mormons have their own thing. It's like Grindr or something.
I don't even know who owns this. For all I know, this is the Chinese just collecting data.
Probably.
You know?
I mean, is it as credible as the euthanasia site that we premiered a couple weeks back?
I don't know. This is where we're at. This is definitely where we're at. MAGA continues to struggle with the idea of real resistance, I think, and they're going to have to get a better idea of what it is, because I don't see any of this stuff, you know, dating sites, you know, shoes,
Truth Social.
Yeah, they're not holding the gears of power. And that's the problem. It's like you talked about, Thad, you know, they don't wield power very well. You know, the Republican Congress has been a total joke this entire time. You know, it's all very fun and everybody gets excited when Trump says something that gets people all wound up. But in reality, it's there's not a whole lot of wins going on in the real world.
Nope. I think we mistake like Twitter beefs and battles and sick burns from the MAGA economy and the MAGA podcast universe with like actual, like, you know, turning back like the frontiers of wokeness. And the truth be told, while some battles have been won, ground is still being ceded in other areas. I mean, we can go back and talk about the Department of Education. We can go back and talk to the fact that, like, you know, we're promoting these district attorneys in these blue cities to, you know, positions of power, and they're absolutely ignorant. They're Bolsheviks. They're everything. So everything sort of points to the fact that, like, you know, everyone's thinking that this is going to, you know, this time when Trump takes over, like, he's going to be our savior. No one's coming to save you. Even if Trump somehow pulls out this election, which I'm pretty sure he will. But even if he pulls off this election, no one's coming to save you. He's not going to save you.
Yeah. It's not going to get fixed. Like that's the other thing. It's a fever dream. So to dovetail off of Thad's point, it's like social media in the world. Like Ukraine's winning on TikTok, but they are losing horribly in the real world and reality. And that's where MAGA needs it. And you're going to hate me, MAGAs, the real ones out there. But the fact is yeah, Twitter battles and bitching and then sick burns and memes aren't giving you tangible wins outside of your zone of influence or your cone of influence. Like maybe we're going to need you orators, you experts on Twitter, to actually put your name on a ballot and run. Because that's the other thing that we've all advocated. Absolutely. The other problem is we let this happen. Everybody has let this happen. We have gotten so complacent in the idea that, oh, we'll just let the old people do it. Oh, we'll just let the old people do it. Oh, we'll just let the old people do it. Now here we are. So we should probably maybe look inwardly and go, hey, maybe I should run. You know, what do you got to lose? Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you can't bitch solely and fully about all these people that got elected because you didn't run.
Yeah. That goes back to our problem, and Lou will definitely talk about the banks coming up on Fedcast, right, Lou? You got what do you got coming up on Fedcast this week on Sunday? Is it Sunday?
It's Saturday, but that's
Thank
okay.
you.
It's
Yeah.
Saturday
I don't
at
know
10
what's
a.m.
going on.
But that's all fluid. Basically, we are one of the fewer shows that watch the Fed. Like we scour the information about the Fed, put it in context of the whole 150 years existence.
So what are you working on? What's coming up? Come on.
I don't know exactly what's coming on, but Egypt did stop using the U.S. dollar for trade on the same day as our last show.
All right. Well, I do encourage people who are interested in that sort of thing with the Fed to go check out Fedcast on Saturday at the ACTJ. You can find it on our social media, so that'd be good. But whether we think the elections are rigged, whether we think the Fed controls everything, I got an incredible white pill from the blackest of places this week. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Dr. Cornell West, who, again, I don't agree with everything this man says, but, let's just listen to what he had to say about what we're facing as a country.
When I look at Trump, I see Civil War number 2. When I look at Biden, I see World War number 3. That's Pharaoh on both sides of the bloody Red Seas. That's the history of me and my people. Look at the Red Sea, you see Pharaoh everywhere, but what do? Here comes Daniel. Here comes David, marginalized, still trying to hold on to truth and justice and integrity and honesty, even when it looks as if the Second Civil War is increasing and the World War III is beginning. You don't cave in, you don't sell out. How else to live?
How else to live, Lou?
Is this my final moment here?
How else to live? What do you think about all that?
I think it's time to just enjoy the shit show. I think it's time to create a fantasy Congress league where we get points and we can gamble on indictments, on scandals.
It's already there.
You can cut me off at any time. I'm just gonna go down the list.
It's already there. The infrastructure's there. We found that out.
I think that's solid. Thad, how you feeling about the bloody Red Sea, my friend?
Look, yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't entirely always agree with Brother Cornell West, but like that hit me deep. That hit home. For real.
Yeah. Fury, talk to me. Look me in my eyes. Deep in my eyes. Come on, man. Where are we at? Where are we at in America? How can we deal with this divide that is really destroying us?
Mr. Cornell says it right, man. We got to stick to our guns. The Davids got to stick to their guns. Stay truth, or stay close to the truth. Even if it's unabashedly horrible for you to accept, even if it's about yourself. That's when I say we're all scum. I'm not telling you or insulting you that you're a piece of shit. What I'm saying is we all have the capacity to be scum. We all have the capacity to be self-centered. But we all have the capacity to do good, drive greatness from each other, increase hope, and fucking do the right thing when nobody's looking. That's called integrity. America needs to find out that we need to keep our integrity, or we need to restore our integrity. We need to stick to our guns, man.
Yeah. I think that's good advice. It was funny when we think about everything that we've done and, trying to keep this show going, trying to keep our personal lives going. We were talking ahead of the show, just different personal struggles that we all have. But even when it gets hard and the odds seem worse than ever, what are you going to do? You can't give up. Like the man says, what else to do? Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.